Hello everyone and welcome to Net Crypto, where you get important information and news about all coins and tokens of interest. And today we are taking a look at Dogeverse. This is a project we highlighted about 1 or 2 months ago that it's a scam and don't stake your tokens, right? So the launch was about 24 hours ago. So now we are just coming back in, more than 24 hours ago. So now we are coming back in to actually check. Is there going to be a pump? Is there going to be a dump? And also, I'm just going to be highlighting some of the scam tricks that we have actually learned with what they've done with this one, right? Because this is a unique scam from the previous scams that I believe the same guys have pulled, like Dogecoin 20. Right, so let's just jump in and check the price, right? So I'm just going to do a refresh here. So if you just check the price, we're currently sitting at 3021, right? But we did go, if we just go here on the 6 months, we did go as low as around 30177, right? That's as low that we have went so far. And now we are sort of having a sort of like a pump coming in, but unfortunately now we are hitting lower lows, right? Ever since we hit this first low here, we have actually managed to hit lower lows. So to actually break out of this trend, we need to hit anything above 3042, right? We need to hit higher highs to get out of this trend, right? So one of the tricks that I've seen what they are doing with this project, because they're calling this one in fact a multi-chain project, right? So you can claim on any chain, right? That was very attractive because other chains have got lower gas fees like Solana than others. So I would understand why an investor would have bought their tokens on Solana, because they don't want to pay those high gas fees on Ethereum. But guess what? Now that the project is launched, those who invested on Solana are starting to actually realize that you have to bridge your tokens to Ethereum for you to be able to sell. So that's one of the tricks that we have actually learned from this particular scam, right? Because they are calling this a multi-chain crypto, right? So unfortunately, that's something that we have learned. We had never come across that one before. That's one trick that they had in the head to say, invest on any chain, but when it comes to actually being able to sell, you need to go through this process to actually bridge your tokens to Ethereum. And why Ethereum? As you understand from the scam flow, step number 5, Ethereum acts as a deterrent for investors to actually sell because of the high gas fees, right? So if you just calculate, maybe you invested $50, and for you to actually bridge those tokens to Ethereum and be able to sell, you calculate all those gas fees, you might as well not do anything, right? So that's what they hope for. So the scammers, right, they carefully orchestrated this whole situation. They knew exactly what they were doing. This is information that they did not provide upfront, right? They only did inform investors that you only be able to stake on Ethereum, right? But when it comes to actually being able to trade, this is something that they did not elucidate from the start. So unfortunately, that's just something that we have come across. But of course, right, for you guys, if you've got the Big Brain Crypto Ego logbook, this is something that you can actually note down right now, right? Affiliate link is in the description, right? This is something that you can note down and you wise up for the future. If any sort of like similar type of situation comes where they are talking about multi-chains, these are some of the questions that you need to ask, right? The mods and whoever, whether you'll be able to actually trade on the chain that you've invested in, right? That's very important. And of course, most of you do ask me, how do we support the channel, the work that we do here on the channel? You can drop a super thanks, right? Or you can join our membership, where you also get exclusive videos, some of the tactics that I share there to the member section, which I do not share here in the public, right? So this is something that I just wanted to actually share with you. So now let's jump back to looking at the price, right? So it's important at this first stages to do some whale watching, right? So whale watching is watching those transactions that are over and above 10,000 to actually see if we see any funnies there, right? So we are going to remove all the shrimps, the fish, and the dolphins, and only leave the whale transactions. So we do see the latest transaction coming in there, 16,000 sold, right? So what we need to do is to look at the wallet addresses. These wallet addresses are important, right? Like, take a look at this. So any sort of like transaction where you see this little like icon here, that's a bot. It's a front-running bot, and one of the notorious front-running bots we have here is a scammer bot called AE13, right? It's this wallet ending with AE13, right? And this bot always buys and sells for a loss. Yesterday we did highlight quite a few transactions where it almost sold for a 30 to 20,000 loss multiple times, trying to prop up the price artificially, pumping the price artificially, right? Which is something that we see happening in stage 6, right, of the scam flow, right? From the multiple scams we have recorded this, that we've covered on the channel, right? And one thing that I do see interesting here, there is this wallet, right? The wallet CC36, right? So this is a wallet of interest. So it is just sold now at the price point of 3022, right? But it bought these two transactions here, 2 transactions. It bought at 2023 and 22 as well. It bought here, and then it sold at 2022. So it bought 2023 and 22. It's selling right here, and we can see a couple of other transactions that this wallet is also done here. We see another sell, right? E36C, right? Same wallet, CCE36C, right? And then we have CC36, right? So CC336 and E36C, right? Those are wallets of interest because we see them coming back again with transactions, buying and selling. Most likely, wallets like these ones, right, are not genuine investors. They belong to the scammers. The scammers are buying and selling, artificially increasing the volume, also trying to prop up the price, right? So these are some of the things that you need to watch, right? So I'm just going to keep the screen on some of these transactions that we are seeing here, so that in the future we can just come back to these transactions, right, and see exactly some of the wallets, right? Because we can see they are massive wallets, like some of the transactions that we did talk about yesterday that are over and above 100,000, right, coming from this front running bot. So this is also one thing that I just thought that we should just take a look at today to see if there are any funnies. So most definitely these two wallets, E36C and also CC36, right? These are wallets of interest that you are going to be watching exactly what they are going to be doing. Of course, this is only really, it's important, like it's beneficial right here from the start. But once the token starts to get listed on centralized exchanges, right, you are going to lose some of that visibility. But of course, the scam bot will continue with its transactions. We will continue to check that. So in talking about whether we are going to be seeing a pump or a dump, right, the only token that we can compare these to is the most recent Dogecoin 20, which I believe is the same scam coming from the same scammers of Dogeverse, right? So if you look at this particular token, we go on the 1 year, right? We see that soon after listing, of course, there was that artificial pump, and then after that there was a dump, and then it recovered, and then there was another dump, and then now we just started to see it dumping throughout, right? So if we look at Dogeverse, right, so things are kind of like looking similar. For now, we had that pump, and it's coming right down. If you go on the 6 months, we can see things a bit clearer. So we had a pump, and then an immediate dump, and then now we are seeing we are now currently seeing this downward trajectory coming in. So like I said, for us to effectively break out of this, right, Dogeverse, we have to hit the 3042 so that you can experience another pump like what we actually saw with Slothana. But unfortunately for that one, we see it also coming right down. So it just has to do with the scammers. The scammers decide what they want to do. Do they want to continue marketing this token or not? So likely for this one, all the YouTubers who were promoting this as 100x, as the next biggest thing, you're just going to be seeing all those promotions ceasing. You're going to be seeing all those YouTubers not saying anything about this token unless the scammers decide to say, okay, we are going to pour some money because maybe they believe it's going to become viral, right, and it's going to pump. But if they don't, you're just going to be seeing this token ceasing to actually, it was just going to die a slow, painful death, like what we're seeing happening with Dogecoin 20, which is like completely dead right now. This token is belly up, right? So this is my update for this one. We are going to continue to monitor it, what exactly is going on. Don't forget to grab yourself a copy of the Big Brain Crypto Ego Logbook if you don't have already, or just log in any like a notepad, things that are happening with these projects, right? Because that's how you wise up against scammers, right? in a couple of months you have so much data, because there is money to be made in crypto, but you need to be careful of scams and tricks, pumps and dumps, and all sorts of tricks that these scammers that they do, right? So this is my video for this one that I wanted to share. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.